Welcome to the Explainer. So today we're going to dig into a really fascinating source that makes the case that the entire Matrix saga is basically a flip, a total inversion of a traditional worldview. And as you'll see, it has some pretty profound implications for our own reality.
Okay, let's dive right in. We all think we know the story, right? Humanity's big victory against the machines. But what if that's not the whole picture? The analysis we're exploring today, well, it pulls back the curtain on a much darker and way more complicated truth that's hidden deep inside the code.
So, first things first, we've got to challenge the whole idea that humanity even won the war. Because that ending, you know the one, it's really not the triumph we all thought it was.
I mean, the popular version of the story is pretty straightforward, right? Zion's freedom fighters fought the good fight, and they secured a future where all of humankind could finally be liberated. It's a classic hero's journey.
But, and this is a big but, here's the brutal reality. The source material we're looking at shows that Zion's own leadership knew that their Plan A, their plan for total victory, would have meant the mass death of millions, maybe even billions, of people still plugged into the Matrix. They were just acceptable casualties. So, let's be real about what this truce actually was. It wasn't a victory. It was a compromise. The absolutely horrific system of enslavement, growing humans like crops and recycling the dead into liquid food, that was all allowed to continue. The only real change was that now anyone who wanted out could get out. An opt-out clause. That's hardly a liberation. Okay, so to really get what's going on with the philosophy here, the source argues we have to look at it through a completely different lens, an ancient worldview called Gnosticism. And this is where the story's true purpose really starts to come into focus.
So what is Gnosticism? Well, in a nutshell, it's this idea that the physical world you see and touch isn't the real one. It's a prison, created by a flawed or maybe even evil lesser god. And the only way to escape is to get a hold of some secret knowledge, or gnosis, that awakens the divine spark inside you. Starting to sound a little familiar, right?
And here's where it all clicks into place, but with a massive twist. The creator god, the architect, he's the villain. The material world, the Matrix, it's the prison. And the rebels, the ones who follow a kind of serpent figure to get forbidden knowledge by taking the red pill, they're the heroes for choosing a brutal, hellish reality over a fake, comfortable heaven.
All right, now let's jump forward to the new city of Io. This is where we see this whole philosophy of build your own reality taken to its absolute extreme.
So after the old wars, the human survivors team up with these so-called good machines, the Synthients, and together they build this incredible high-tech fortress. It's basically a synthetic Eden in the middle of a total wasteland, complete with its very own artificial sky.
And this one moment just perfectly illustrates their greatest achievement. Niobe shows Neo a strawberry, and it's not just a piece of fruit, it's a miracle. It's a symbol of their new power, the power to create life itself, to literally rewrite the rules of a dead world. And that right there is the ultimate Gnostic act. You've got humanity and machines playing God. They've found the alchemist's grail, bringing life back from nothing but pure information, from DNA profiles stored in the very system they broke out of. It's a man-made salvation, a new paradise built without any need for a divine creator.
Okay, but here's the thing. This impulse to hack reality and just build a new one, it isn't just science fiction. The source we're looking at argues it's the quiet, unexamined philosophy that's driving a huge part of Silicon Valley today.
I mean, you see this stuff everywhere. From creating digital doppelgangers that could live forever, to predicting the singularity, where we merge our minds with superintelligence. The goal is a kind of technological redemption. It's a salvation built from code that, whether we admit it or not, frames our biological bodies as a problem to be solved, a limitation we have to overcome.
So, why does all of this matter? What's the big deal? Well, because this Gnostic inversion of reality, both in the movies and in our own world, presents a profound challenge to the very foundation of what it even means to be human.
The source material really concludes with this stark contrast. On one hand, you have a worldview where reality is a gift, and our value is inherent, grounded in the imago Dei, the image of God. But in the Matrix worldview, reality is a prison, our bodies are a flaw, and salvation only comes from hacking the system.
And that's the real danger of this inversion. It quietly reframes what makes a human being valuable. It's no longer something you just have. Your worth becomes conditional, instrumental. It all depends on your function. your ability to optimize yourself, and your alignment with where the system is headed. At the end of the day, this philosophical shift isn't just some cinematic exercise. As our world becomes more and more technologically integrated, it's the critical question shaping our future. It really leaves us all wondering about the code that's ultimately going to define us.